Okay, my friends, I'm very excited about this episode of the Behind the Scenes series because, as with all individuals and all small businesses, I believe in the person from what I've seen, from what I've felt and watched, etc., the way they carry themselves. It's just one of those people, like all of the people, really, that this series is about, is a person who deserves to have the light shown on them for what they do and why they do it. You know, when it comes to the mechanics and the hands-on, that's for them and their channel, and I very much will guide you guys to their channel for those that don't already know it, so you can see what they do in that regard. But as always, I'm about the person, I'm about the people, and the BTS series is to shine the light on the person, to go behind the scenes, not just literally behind the closed doors, but also mentally behind the scenes, as far as what goes on with them and the why of what they do. So roll with me as we go behind the scenes with Aisha of Lady Bill Garage. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How was your day?
It was okay.
Busy?
Busy. Always.
Well, in the midst of all the busyness, I appreciate the time to be able to talk
Yes.
about things.
About things.
So, how's Sean? Where's Sean?
He's inside. He just got home.
He just got home?
Ago.
Okay, so he needs time.
Yes.
He needs time.
You want to talk to him too?
Nah, whatever we can make work, you know what I'm saying? It's not really, it doesn't need to be anything other than what it is.
He'll be out shortly.
Sure. So,
Welcome to my messy garage.
listen, it's a functional setup. This is where, well, when you work, you just move one out in the center of the other one, or what?
It depends. Depends on what we're doing. Usually it's like if I'm working on mine, then he'll just reverse his out to the point like if I have to jack up the car, I can fit the jack underneath.
Yeah.
And then he'll push his car back in, like at the end of the day.
Usually you're able
But
to,
if it's a major job,
right,
like
where it won't be done in one day.
I'm pulling the motor and stuff like that, then I might have him take his car out and center it so I have more space.
Yeah.
But usually it's doable like this. I just jack the car up right here and push his out to work on it, and then just pull his back in like at night.
Right. That's cool that you guys are able to make it work. This is kind of...
It's very tight.
That's quite freaky.
Yeah. It's like a whole charade to get it in there. But we're used to it.
Bam! The precision right there.
You don't want to see the other side of his car.
Oh, what? True.
Yeah, don't trip going over there.
Okay, listen. The way your guys' fenders and wheels are is like way closer.
It's precise.
It is precise.
You know exactly how to put it in now.
But you know what though? Like that's an example of reality. Like we don't all have shops and lifts and all these things.
I wish.
You know? But I mean, I respect this.
I've contemplated building a garage in the back. Like
okay. Like an open air one or an actually fully enclosed one?
Out of like you know the steel buildings?
Yeah.
Like one like that in the back with like concrete, and make it tall enough so that I could put a lift in.
Okay.
And just for the cars, because I mean sometimes it is annoying like having these cars in the front here. Like I can't park my daily in here. Mm-hmm. You're walking by and you have to like walk like, you know, so you don't scratch it and stuff like that.
So by putting the two project fun cars in the back,
then it would
garage,
free up space in here.
Can be used for more normal garagey
normal garage activities.
I heard that. Well, what's this about though?
Oh my gosh. That's Sean. That's Sean. I blame it on Sean.
Why? This is not like you.
It's not me, it's Sean.
Why does Sean have a Caucasian man's middle finger up?
Oh, wow. Well, here we have a JDM banner. That's a little bit more appropriate.
Yeah, you guys are funny. So, you know what? Let's let's get down to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's talk about the whys, because the whys of there's a lot of you can look at what people do, but it's not what you do. It's why you do it.
Why?
All right, and we talked about that at the meet. We've talked about that on and off over the years, but let's.
The why could mean a lot of things, like.
It could. It does.
Why I'm in the cars.
Yes. Yes. So let's get in to the whys.
After you put shoes on. Don't worry, she's not.
Hi, little one.
You trying to say hi?
Hi, baby. Hey, what's up? So cute.
Hazel.
Okay, we're taking a moment here for the love. This one's name is Hazel. I mean, all dogs are cute, but little tiny ones like this? Hi, mamas.
She's a good puppy. Don't put it on there. I'll just pull up the brakes.
Oh. Oh.
This is how we do things.
Y'all
Close.
freaking me out with that.
How close is it today? Oh no, it's been closer.
Y'all are wild.
It's been closer.
Let me grab the chairs, my man.
What chairs? Those?
Mom, this little one won't leave. She won't leave my arms, and I'm not even mad at it. I got the tiny one with me, so we're gonna just make do. Okay. Okay, so Aisha, listen.
Yes.
Right? One of the things that I appreciate about you is how hard it was to make this happen and how nervous you are, because the nervousness, there's a different kind of nervousness. There's people who get nervous because they don't know how to talk, they don't know what to say, and they get camera shy. And that's one type of nervous. And then there are the people who are nervous because any type of talking about themselves makes them feel like they might sound braggadocious. They might sound like they're boasting. And
It's a bit of both.
And for you, because it's a bit of both, it's being raw and it's being real,
Yeah.
To this day, I'm still like that. When people ask me to explain something, I get very awkward. Now, people don't really believe me because I've done enough of X, Y, and Z. But that doesn't mean that I'm not nervous. It just means that I don't show it the way I used to. But I totally don't like being recorded either. It's not for everybody, okay? But the entire point of the Behind the Scenes series is to shine the light on small business and good people. And aside from wrenching, I mean, yes, there's your personal car. Yes, there's Sean's car. There's Keem's and all the homies in the clique. Cars are one thing, right? But lady built garage, okay? That's something that deserves to have a little bit brighter of a light, because you have branded it, you've put it out there, but yet there are a lot of people who probably still don't know, and it just takes time, right?
Yeah.
And in an era where using what you look like and what you have in the physical asset realm is the most smooth and efficient way to getting attention, you flat out refuse to do it, and you made it about your shirt, right? I mean, it speaks for itself, girl. Okay, so let's just talk about that, right? Just tell us about why that came to be this particular shirt design. So let's talk about it.
Well, I just like what you said about, the easiest way to, per se, kind of step up the ladder in the realm of like social media and putting yourself out there is for females to show their body and, do modeling and that type of stuff.
Modeling?
Modeling?
Yeah, we're putting that in quotes. But anyways, please proceed, sorry.
Or, like the bikini shots, not on the beach type of thing.
Right. Right.
But that's just not me. Like, I've never really been about, like, showing myself off like that. I'm more of a modest kind of person. And not only that, in the car world, as a female, it's hard to be respected or taken seriously, or for people to even fathom that I can actually do things on my car myself.
Right.
So I just don't want people to look at me as the female in the car world
that's in the tiny
just
shorts and posting all
and modeling and stuff like that. I would rather be taken seriously and respected for the fact that, you know, I kind of do know about cars and I do the work on my own car and stuff like that. So I just, because it's just not me as a person, like even, you know, outside of cars and whatnot, I'm just not that kind of person to be strutting up and down the place.
Okay, but and the part that's crazy is you're from the islands.
Yes.
Like you're born and raised going to a beach.
Yeah,
wearing
but that's
bikinis.
Different. You go to the beach.
But it's like a normal thing. You're in Florida, you're from the islands, going to the beach and wearing a bikini at the beach, which is a very normal thing.
Yes.
But even with it being completely normal, you still won't show it.
No.
Simply because, and that's
not in the garage.
Okay, but
there's a time and place.
But then there's the ones where there's like a strategic, like they're holding a wrench on the beach though, right? So but the point is. But
that's about the attention.
Correct.
It's because, you know, people think that they do that, they're going to get more attention, which actually a sad thing in this society.
It totally works.
It's true.
It absolutely works. Yeah. And you won't do it. So even knowing for sure that it'll work, you just won't do it.
No, because it's just not me.
It's not
and
you.
I'm not trying to portray something that I'm not.
Yeah. And so, right here, right? Seeking respect, not attention, right?
Yes.
Did that saying specifically come from a certain event, a certain part of your life, or was it just a simple linear way to express kind of like exactly what we're talking about?
To be honest, I think I saw the phrase somewhere on the internet. I cannot remember where I saw it.
Yeah.
But for almost ever that I can think about since I've had Instagram, it's been in my Instagram, like my little profile or whatever, because when I saw it, it made like,
it just clicked.
It hit. It clicked, like you said. It made total, like, it felt like that's something that I represent.
So with that motto, that credo right there, seeking respect, not attention, and in the context of the car world, you know, building your personal car. Now, obviously, on your channel, people, and you guys, I'll link you and everything, to see the progress of this car, the struggles, the modifications, the steps. You know, that's on her channel. But here, this is about Aisha. Okay, so, you know, with this car, right, you've been able to garner that type of respect, right?
For the most part. I mean, you know, there are people out there that still don't, you know, want to grasp that I actually do work on the car.
So what do they think? They think the videos that you're making are fake? Is that what people think? Do they think you're acting, that you're turning the wrench? Really?
Like I had someone actually comment and say that I'm just doing it in front of the camera and I have guidance behind the camera.
Nice. Nice. Do people think it's Sean?
Yes.
So it's the whole male-female thing?
Yeah, because even at car shows, people come up to the car and immediately they look at him. They don't even look at me, and they're like starting asking him about the car, and he legit will say, "It's not my car, ask her."
Yes.
And then they'll turn to me and start to ask me a question, but still turn back and look at him for reassurance.
Interesting.
Like, whatever I'm gonna say might not be the right answer.
Might not be the right answer.
Yeah.
Okay, now be real. Like on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being you want to punch them in their esophagus, right? What does that do to you? Put a number on it.
It is upsetting, but at the same time, in reality, I understand, especially for older people, because, you know, it's just the era. Like, the females being, like, good with their hands and being able to do this kind of stuff is it's still kind of on the rare side.
Yes.
You know, if you had to do, like, a actual analytics number and, you know, count how many females are actually out there doing this compared to the males, it's still sort of rare. So, I mean, like, I try not to take offense to it, because not everyone has the open mind to actually, you know, fathom
Have you kind of found a certain way of correcting someone, you know, in a polite way that you have ready to go, like ammunition wise, because it happens just enough where you're like, well, actually, sir or madam, is there a way, like, have you found a tactful way to correct people?
I probably do it just like how you said. I just try to say it in the nicest way, because I don't want to be like off-putting about it, and so I'll just be like, I actually do it. And then now, like, I guess that was kind of one of the reasons why I started the YouTube channel too, so I could record and actually put out there that I actually do work. So then I kind of will tell people, well, I do have a YouTube channel if you want to look
if
and actually see and with your own eyes, because some people, they believe with their eyes, not with their ears. The inside, now you're getting the real behind the scenes of all the OCD.
I respect it. I mean, look at this. Let's go in here, for example. We got the gas canister. We got the surge tank. We got the Milwaukee tote bag. Okay, you guys, for any of you we did not, look at this. This is real tools, y'all.
Sockets, wrenches.
The few of you guys that might be one of those ones that somehow thinks that it's not real. Come on, y'all. I mean, come on, dude. We got the microfibers. We got the extra oil in the back.
And coolant.
And coolant. See, the people who know about the wrenching on, like, older cars, you gotta have extra oil, coolant, fuses, 10 millimeter socket. You got to. You got to.
I have extra bolts.
You have to. Okay, so, all right. So listen. I mean, we're talking about lady built. We're talking about breaking stereotypes. We're talking about representing women with class. So Lady Built Garage, it's really just that simple, right?
It is that simple.
It's really just that simple.
I just, like, literally, it is... Lady Built was actually a part of, like, my Instagram name.
Okay.
And then when I was coming up with the whole YouTube channel thing, and I was trying to think of, like, some kind of name to basically kind of brand it, then it just turned into Lady Built Garage, because everything is done here in my own garage.
Built by...
myself.
A lady.
A lady.
So, I mean, listen, honestly, since we met back in the days, you guys, your clique has been coming to the Honda meet, formerly known as the Ibach meet, for years.
Yes.
And, I feel very blessed to be able to go to different regions of the country, whether it be the Honda meet or TE or just anything, really.
Yeah.
And, being able to spend time with different people. And I gathered from, pretty much from day one, the shyness, aka the modesty, right? And you know what? It carries a certain weight with me, more so than the person who seems to be extremely ready to talk about what they do whenever someone might just be like, hey, so, and they got it ready to go, and you're just like, you were way too quick with it.
I've always been shy.
Which is good. Which is a good thing. So, I mean, right here, you guys, like we talked about, I mean, they just came back from the Honda meet, so this is what you need to make a trip.
Yes.
Speaking of that, right, so for those of you that do follow Aisha, you would have already have seen what happened with some cooling issues. And on that note, I didn't see what you did to address it. I think you mentioned something about ducting.
Yes.
Okay, so
I made it.
Okay, so in the comments, right, on your Instagram, people were talking about, oh, you're having cooling issues. Make your fans come on
sooner.
And remember, I addressed that.
Yes.
That doesn't correct an issue when you're moving, right? You have to have airflow and or heat releasing. Yeah. And you went about it by
creating ducting to pull the air to the radiator. But to be really honest, when I made that post, I already had the idea of what was going on, and I don't think that certain people read the entire post, because I did say that I knew that it was because of the new intercooler.
Sure, yeah, you did.
I knew that it was not, the radiator wasn't getting enough air.
Yes.
So like the issue was the airflow. Like I knew it was not an issue with the fans or anything like that. I mean, I think the fans could be bigger, and maybe if I did not have a shroud, it would be better because it wouldn't restrict the airflow at that high speed.
Okay.
But to try to make like a temporary fix, I knew that all I really had to do is just get more air to the radiator, because the bumper was blocking it because of the new intercooler was bigger.
So to give this context, you guys, she made a post, and like she's talking about, she did mention that it's because of the front mount. Some people may not have read all that, but one of the pieces of advice that she was given was set your fans to be on all the time. And I'm like, no, because fans are only meant to pull air to mimic forward motion. If you're going 60 miles an hour and you think turning your fans on is going to cool you, you're missing the problem, right? And guiding airflow with a turbocharged setup, even though you have ceramic coating, you have heat treatments, etc., sometimes that just happens, right? So can you show us the ducting?
You want to see it?
Yeah, show us the ducting that you created, because it clearly worked. It worked because you now have your temps down.
Okay, so you have to get like, let me put the hood up some more so you don't like bump your head. But
okay.
It is, you gotta get it like really under there to see it.
Yeah.
Because the bumper is on. But in here,
yes,
there is plastic sheeting.
Yes.
And it goes forward here. So
yes.
whatever air comes up through the bumper now can only go through the radiator, because there's
correct.
Sides on here too.
Mm-hmm. As it should.
Yeah, and I had like this, it's made out of this plastic sheeting. And I just had a roll of it just there. It's actually the same thing that I made the cowl
that you made your cowl out of. Okay, so it was that simple. You knew that with the new front mount, the radiator wasn't getting enough air, so
because
the air
it's blocking it.
Yeah, so the air that was coming through, you just made it have to only be able.
It's not even that much. It's probably about I'd say 2 to 2.5 inches like tall.
Yes.
Because at the top, the intercooler sits in front of the radiator, and the radiator sits higher than the intercooler. So there's probably about like 2 to 2.5 inches of radiator fins that are above the intercooler. Yes. So basically the ducting that I made directs the air, the excess air that kind of goes above the intercooler, to go in the radiator. It can't go anywhere else.
The ducting isn't in quotes, because it's ducting.
Yeah.
You don't even need to quote it, girl.
I don't know. When
ducting.
I think of ducting, I think of like the hose. Like, you know, the ones that they put like here.
For like brake ducts.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Exactly. That's what I think about when I hear ducting.
When you think of the brake ducts, what is the brake duct doing? It's guiding air.
It's guiding the air. Exactly.
So, girl, you can't, like, listen, you knew, you figured it out.
And it worked.
And it worked, right?
It worked.
So what were your temps prior? Do you have a gauge, or you just are using your OEM needle?
No, I have the S300, the Honda.
Okay, so what were your temps?
I look at it like on the app.
Yeah.
And so when that started happening, the first time that I drove the car, like on the highway, long distance after the intercooler, it was going up to about 204.
Okay.
And that was at night when it was
as
not
cool
cold,
as it could
but
be.
it was cool. I would say maybe high 60s, low 70s degrees, like outside, and it went up to like 204. And then the other day when we went to the Honda meet, it was, now let me say this too.
Okay.
Previously with the old intercooler, it was around 187 to 194, because like when the thermostat would open.
Okay.
It'd get up and then it dropped down when the thermostat.
So that's what I was about to ask you. Are you running a thermostat? So when it opens in cycles, before you got up to 194?
Yeah, it would go up to 194, and then it cycles, and it would go down to 187. So after...
But when you switched the front mount, you were starting to get to 204.
204.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like the highest.
I just want to let you know, so I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I've taken a car to 260.
Ooh.
I've taken a car to 260 on accident, of course. There was an air bubble.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't even blow the head gasket.
No,
and
that's
I hit
scary.
262.
That is scary.
And I was like, I blew it. I totally blew it. I must have. Girl, I drove that car for another year. It did not even, 260, I was like, yo, I warped the head. Oh, yeah. I took it there twice. It was an IT Beat setup when I first did a custom cooling system like 15 years ago, and I must have had an air bubble. I thought I got it out. 262.
Anything above 200 scares me.
Okay, okay. So here's my question, right? So you hit 204.
Yeah.
And after you did this, where are you at now?
The ducting, when I drove up to the Honda meet the other day, it was at 185 the whole way.
Okay, what about...
So it was lower than previous.
Yeah, so what's your fluctuation with your thermostat opening and cycling?
It stayed at 185.
So you just stayed at 185?
It stayed at 185 the whole time, because I kept checking it on the app, the Honda
So when
app.
you idle, let's say you're cold, right? Cold start, it gets to a warm up, and when you finally get there, you never go above 184.
185.
185.
That was the other day, but normally driving around, the car doesn't, like, I never had any issues. Even with this intercooler, the new intercooler, it was the 187 to the 194.
Yes.
Driving around, it's the highway is what the problem was.
Sure,
At the high speeds.
Yeah.
At the consistent higher RPMs.
So freeway cruising to the Honda meet, 185.
185 the whole way.
I like it.
It didn't fluctuate, which I don't know. Maybe that usually it fluctuates between.
Well, do you have the laser
194.
thermometer?
No.
Okay, well, because there's some people would always be like, "Yo, just double check to see if your app's reading right." But whatever, you should be straight. There you go. So you were going.
That's a good idea, though.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you can get just get the Harbor Freight one if you don't want to drop like mad money. But 204, 184, 20 degrees is a lot.
Yeah.
To me, honestly, listen, there's nothing wrong with 204.
That's still scary, though. I don't like anything above 200. 200 is like, I start to get scared.
OEM thermostat's going to open around there to get you back to like 190-ish. So I get it, right? But like I said, when you've taken a car to 260 and you didn't warp ahead, it was scary. The needle was like pinned.
Oh,
it was pinned. Yeah. And I was like, I blew it. And I let it cool down. Found out there was a big old air bubble. And there was I thought the coolant was going to be mixed with the water. I thought like the oil. I was like, I totally blew it.
I think that when you see oil in the coolant or coolant in the oil, that is the scariest
Oh, for
thing.
Sure. The milky look, it's the worst.
Oh my gosh, that is the scariest thing ever.
Yeah, and you know what though? I love that didn't happen. You didn't have to have that happen for you to be able to figure out how to fix it before anything crazy. So you're at 185, which is mad chill. Yeah. And aside from getting like, your swirl pot, adding the ducting, the setup has been about this way for quite some time. The question is, what's next, girl?
There's a lot of things.
Next?
There's a lot of things that could be next.
Do you have a list? Do you have an order of operations?
Okay, so for right now,
yes,
my goal is to make the car efficient because a lot of things have been maxed out.
Okay.
So right now, my turbo is maxed.
So it's time for a bigger turbo.
Yeah. Not much bigger because honestly, like, I don't want to make more horsepower.
Okay.
My thing is right now, and why I got like the intercooler, is to make things more efficient so they're not working as hard.
So what trim do you have here, and what are you gonna go up to?
So that is wheel size is a 52 and 61, I believe.
So why that particular Borg Warner versus Garrett versus Turbonetics versus Precision, etc., etc.?
Affordability.
Okay, so this particular unit was the price what you had. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was at the track, blew my turbo, racing a Hellcat.
Okay.
Which was very sad.
Did you win before it blew?
Yeah, I would have had him.
You would have had him.
I would have had
a Hellcat.
A Hellcat.
How long ago was that?
2017.
Okay, so now we're getting to the point where this turbo, it's time to upgrade.
Yeah.
And so what brand, what trim, what sizing, what are you trying to do here? Like, what's next?
I don't know exactly like what size I'm looking for yet, but something in a smaller frame, because I don't want to, you know, go any bigger with the actual footprint of the turbo, but something that is maybe rated for around like 650 to 700 horsepower.
Okay.
So that me staying under 600 horsepower, then I'm not overworking the turbo.
Okay. Okay.
But
so you're still doing the research on which one? Fair enough.
Narrowed down, but I do know that I want ball bearing. That's
girl, it's 2021.
Because, yeah, I'm stuck in with
journal.
Journal.
Yeah, no.
In the olden days.
Yeah, no, we can't be doing no journals anymore. Okay, so that's what's next. You mentioned efficiency. You want things to work less hard.
Yes.
And time for a new turbo.
Yes.
What else? Are you maxed out your duty cycle on your injectors?
No,
are you happy with all that right now?
The injectors are good now. I just upgraded them when I built this new motor.
Okay.
They were maxed out before.
Okay, were they?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I had thousands. Now I have 16s.
Okay.
And they're good.
There you go.
So I think basically the next thing would be the turbo, and at that point then I'd probably be up to speed with efficiency.
Okay. So that's the short / long term for this build.
Yes.
What are you guys working on with Sean? Is he happy with it? That means no.
Yeah, he has plans to possibly turbocharge it.
Okay, so that means he's turbocharging it. That's what that means. When someone says, I think I want to go turbo.
The long and the short, yeah.
Yeah, so when are you guys going to do that?
He's been gathering parts.
Okay.
And I think it's just kind of like a slow process that I don't think he's put a date on it yet.
Okay.
But eventually.
I mean,
probably in the sooner kind of realm.
You know, honestly though, the orange with the Kevlar, the green with the Kevlar, you know, first molding. I mean, there's the different selections. The color choice is beautiful. The yellow, the bronze. I mean, I like these type of earth tones.
Yes.
I love it. You know, it looks great.
His goes very well together.
Yeah, and then the yellow Recaro. But you guys have had good taste for a while, and regardless of whether they're female or not, if the choice of parts and the color coordination and there was knockoff this and that, you would ruin your own path to getting respect.
Yeah.
Right? You would be categorized and more harshly, unfortunately, because you're a female.
Yeah.
And if you made those types of decisions. But yet here you are, there's a certain amount of style and quality and coordination, and that speaks to the art of it. But, you know, like I said, cars are one thing, but the whole idea and premise of breaking that stereotype of females, especially females in our industry.
Yeah.
You know, you wanted to do that, you're wrenching on your own, and, you know, you are aiming to seek respect, not attention, right?
Yes.
So, what is the plan, not for the car, not turbo this and upgrade this, none of that. What is the plan for Lady Built Garage? Where do you see that in, let's say, 5 years?
That's a tough question.
Mm-hmm.
I can't project that long.
What do you want to happen?
That's a really tough question.
Like all things going smoothly.
Yeah.
I mean, no one knows what the future holds, but what do you want?
My goal is to
Garage?
build the YouTube part of it, to extend the catalog of videos that I have.
Okay.
I even was thinking about trying to do simple things geared towards women, or maybe not even women, just anybody.
Yes.
Because there are, you know, a lot of males out there that don't know much about cars either, but just even do videos on basic things to encourage people that they can do these small things, like something as simple as changing oil.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't do that themselves because they just don't know.
Sure.
Or some simple maintenance, like how to change a starting motor or an alternator, or anything simple like that. So for the Lady Built Garage part of it,
Expanding the catalog.
that I want to expand the catalog of videos on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Now, what about for your personal build? Is there another car on the horizon for that catalog? Is there a new project?
There could possibly be.
That means there is one. Are you willing to tell us what it is?
I don't know.
Give us an era. What era
It'd
is it
definitely
from?
be 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely be 90s.
So a golden era Honda or
Yes,
Acura. Okay.
Yes. And I guess I could also say that if I were going to do another build, that it might extend over into the K-Series realm, because I have accomplished my goal of the B-Series.
Sure.
So that actually would be something new for me too, because I don't really have like much experience of K-Series.
Because you've been doing the Bs.
Exactly. Like I do know, like basic things and whatever about the K-Series motors and stuff, but it would also be a learning experience for myself.
And I think that's really cool, because the people who will be following will be able to learn with you.
Exactly.
That's very cool.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I mean, aside from these two, if we had planned it, we could have had all the homies over here.
I know, right?
But it's I had a chance to look these over. I pay attention to what you guys are doing online, and then we just had the Honda meet, so it's been great.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you giving people a glimpse into Aisha, and not just
behind the scenes.
Yeah, because there are people who deserve to have the spotlight put on them, even for just a moment, so that the world can understand not just what they do, but why they do it.
Yes.
The why is very important. Good people with a genuine, passionate why deserve, in my humble opinion, to have a bit of notoriety, because their entire purpose comes from a place of passion and giving back to the culture, not because they're narcissists.
Yeah.
She's laughing because we spent a lot of time talking about a couple of people who very unfortunately fall into the category.
Yes.
Anyways.
It's very sad.
Anyways.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
Yes, I appreciate you too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
You're very welcome. And I think we should go have dinner.
I think so too. I'm hungry.
Perfect. Okay, so...
Yes.
I'm sorry to just hit you with this, but for real though, I have to ask you one I feel like it's a very important question, Aisha. Okay. Regardless of age, regardless of gender, regardless of any of those factors, what is the one single most important piece of advice that you can give to anyone who's trying to up and come in this industry and scene and culture?
Regardless of gender, too. Would it be for building a car?
Sure, why not?
Okay. I think patience is probably the most important, because a lot of people try to rush into things and don't really make a plan and think about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, patience. And things don't happen overnight.
What about when it comes to building a brand, something they believe in, something they have in their mind, like you did with Lady Built Garage? What's the single piece of advice you would give someone who says, hey, I have this idea, I have this name, I have this saying, I have this logo, I believe in it? What would you tell them to do, or how to do it? What would you suggest?
I don't know if I could really tell somebody that, because I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
Sure.
But I guess I would say, if you have an idea, make a plan and do it. Like, don't just sit on it. Like, to be honest, I think that I sat on the Lady Built Garage thing for a while, and I think that I could even be doing better. I know that like I've slacked a lot when it comes to video and putting myself out there.
Okay.
And so I guess I could give myself a piece of advice that you just need to do it.
There
do
it
it
is.
and just don't think about it too hard.
Don't hesitate. Don't
Don't
second guess
hesitate.
yourself.
Don't
Just
don't
do
second
it.
guess. And I guess I second guess myself a lot because I'm like my biggest critic.
We all are. We all critique ourselves the most, but you know we appreciate
I'm harsh
you.
on myself.
It's part of the process and it's healthy. So, you know what, Aisha? Once again, we appreciate you. Thank you for letting us. You know, it's later on in the day. It's after a work day. It's after hours, and the entire point of this series is to, you know, not just go behind the scenes as in behind closed doors, but go behind the scenes as far as what goes on in the mind of the people who are doing these projects and these brands that come from a place of, you know, sincerity and passion. So we appreciate you. Thank you for letting us go behind the scenes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Careful, something don't fall apart.
Stop it.
You know how it is with these old Hondas.
Stop it. I see the white cheddar Cheeto puffs right there.
Oh my gosh.
You're funny.
And the roof at the back.
Don't even be. Come on, girl. We all be snacking.
I didn't unpack anything since we got back on Saturday night.
You didn't unpack anything yet?
No.
Just been chilling?
That's why them Cheetos are still sitting there. Because I was munching on the way down before we went out to eat.
Yeah, it's crazy how close y'all be getting.
I'm telling you, it's been closer.
Crazy.
I mean, we do that to get the cars over that way, so when you're walking here, because we have all this shit here. Yes.
Okay, so you're saying that you started another
Yes.
brand?
I started a sort of spin-off brand of Lady Built Garage.
Okay.
Like, I'm still with the Lady Built Garage,
Yeah.
but I started Alter Ego Performance.
All right.
Because I kind of feel that Alter Ego Performance is more general and not just geared towards the ladies. Because I kind of feel that males aren't really into supporting Lady Built Garage.
Really?
Yes.
I see.
That's
So-
just how I feel. Cause,
Okay, so you wanted
it's
it to be more
Lady Built-
universal.
Exactly. More general, universal to male and female.
Okay, well, what I'll do is I'll definitely link everyone to both, right? Both Lady Built Garage and Alter Ego Performance, right?
Yes.
And, you know, your personal IG, and they have the ability to support all of what you do.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Word. That the creation of the channel has, I mean, you're never going to reach everyone. People have preconceived notions, they're hard-headed, whatever.
Yeah.
But in the effort and the time from what you've done to create your channel and grow it,
Yeah.
do you believe that you are cracking those stereotypes?
I think so, to a certain extent. I mean, I get a lot of nasty comments on YouTube, but
Okay.
for the most part, I think that a lot of people actually do come on there and they see that I actually did something and they're more like, you know, respect. Like, I respect you, I admire what you're doing, great job. You know, I do get a lot of positive comments, but every once in a while, you know, you just have those select few
Always.
that still just don't want to believe. Just like the person I said, they left a comment saying that I'm doing the work, but I have guidance behind the camera.
As if you couldn't possibly guide yourself.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Exactly.
But like you know what? Truthfully though, maybe because of, you know, my age and the era I come from, I guess I sort of, not that I agree with it, but I can understand how that type of old school chauvinism
mentality,
and mentality is gonna just be pretty normal to someone.
Yeah.
So I like how you take it. You're like, you just kind of take it with a grain of salt. You don't take it too
Exactly.
personally,
No.
and you're just like, well, if you would like to educate yourself,
Yes.
if you would like to see me actually doing it,
Yes.
please, go ahead
Yes.
and check out the channel.
Exactly.
I dig it.
Exactly.